Welcome to today's Bitesized webinars from WP Means Business. Today we're going to look at using hidden pages to boost your business. This is an extension of a previous webinar, Going the Extra Mile, where we talked about doing pre-sales, post-sales pages, lots of other things, and obviously those, like download pages, a lot of those you probably want to be hidden. Before we begin, if you haven't already signed up for the schedule, please make sure you go to wpmeansbusiness.com, where you can sign up and find the weekly schedule. A little bit of a disclaimer. Please take a backup before you do any of the changes that we're going to talk about today. If you're not sure whether you're an administrator or how to install plugins, if you go to WP Means Business, you'll be able to see if you scroll down. If you scroll down on the right-hand side, you'll see it says, am I an administrator? And it also talks about installing plugins. Right, okay, so that will give you a bit of a clue if you don't know how to do it. So why would you want to do it? Well, post pre-sales and post-sales pages, if you were having a list of prices or some other giveaway or something you don't want people in general to see, or a free download page, you need to make it hidden. If you don't do that, then you have problems. So let's have a little look. So I've created a little page called Top Secret, which I want to hide on my test blog. And there's a couple of things that happened. I've got it appearing in my menu. Now that's because I haven't, I've got an automatically creating menu here that every time I add a page, it adds it to my menu. Hopefully you're using custom menus and you've got control over how your menus work. But this is one place that obviously it would leak out and it would be pretty obvious. Some of the other places that you might find it, you may well find it on your not found page, and you get there by typing in something like I've got up here wpmeansbusiness.com / and then some page that doesn't exist. Every theme has its own not found page, or if you're really unlucky, your web designer hasn't actually created one for you, you end up with something that looks horrible. But what's going on this particular page is it's listing out things, including a load of landing pages, which I need to hide. So I've learned something today. I've got to go through and hide those away. The theme I'm using here, which is one of the out-of-the-box ones, it's not found page. It will show posts, but it doesn't show pages. So I would kind of get away with it unless it was a post that I wanted to hide rather than the page. So that's the not found page. So you just type in your web address / some gibberish that doesn't exist. The other place it will leak out is if you do a search. So here we got a search box. I'm going to search for that top secret page. And you can see there's my top secret page has appeared. Now, if you haven't got a search box, you might think you're okay. But really what you can actually do is you can go on any website that's a WordPress site, you can go to it and put something like, so / s equals and then something you want to search for. If it's got spaces in, you have to use plus signs. So I'm just going to effectively do a search for the word top. And again, that page has come up. So you could go into, if you're really feeling mean, you can go into people's websites and do something like a search for download. In this case, there's nothing on here. But if you did that, you may well find people's download pages if you really want to do it. The other place that you'll find it is in, from a Google point of view. Hopefully, if you follow some of the other Bitesize webinars, you'll have set up an XML sitemap. If you don't know what it means, don't worry too much, but I'm just going to show it to you. I use the Yoast's WordPress SEO plugin. If you use a different plugin, it will be somewhere else and it may have a slightly different format. But within Yoast, you've got this thing that says XML sitemaps, and this big button that you can click on. If you click on that, it shows you the sitemap. Now, if you've got a different version of the sitemap, you may get a list of pages at this point, but the Yoast one organizes it into separate little sitemaps for posts and pages. So I'm going to have a little dig into the page one, and there you see that it's listed out as my top secret page. This is available to you. It's also available to Google and to anyone who wants to have a little nose around. So we need to get rid of it from there to stop Google looking at it. and there's some other things that we need to do for Google as well. So let's look at what you should do to get rid of to hide that page. So first of all, you need to install a couple of plugins. So if I go back to my plugin list, this is my plugin list for this site, or at least the ones that are active at the moment. The plugins that you need to put in are Simply Exclude. That's from Paul Menard, it says there. The other one that you need to put in is this one here, which is called Exclude Pages. When you search for it, you'll find it as Exclude Pages rather than Exclude Pages from Navigation. That's by Simon Wheatley. And what that does is put some extra boxes on your page. So you get on the right hand side, you can see I have a little section called Simply Exclude. So that will hide it from the searches. I'm not completely sure what that one does, but I think if you've got widgets that are looking at pages, it will probably exclude it from those. So I've ticked it anyway. The other one is the Exclude Pages from Navigation, and you want to untick that. So let's just update that for the moment and then see what effect that has. So if we go back to the site, so it's now disappeared from the menu. If we do a search for top, which is what we did before, it's disappeared from there. So we haven't got rid of it yet from the, we haven't actually got rid of it from the XML file and from Google itself. So let's have a go at doing that. Okay, so there's our top secret page. We're going to edit it. Okay, to do that within Yoast, and obviously different plugins have different ways of doing it. Some of them miss it out completely. You need to go to the Advanced tab. First of all, you need to tell Google not to index that page, not to keep it in its index. This will take a while for it to actually have an effect if it's already in the Google index. But so you need to do that one. You also need to do never include in the sitemap. So we'll save those away and we'll see what the effect is on that. Okay, so let's just refresh. That was the page sitemap, and you can see that that one's disappeared quite nicely. The other thing that it did was it actually added some code to the top of the page itself. So if we view the page, see, this is how you can double check to see whether you've done what you need to do. If you look on that page, and then we do a search for no index, you'll see a little bit down here that says robots no index. You probably want to get rid of follow as well, so let's go back and do that, because what that'll do is it'll allow Google to find that page and it will follow the links. So if you've got links to PDF documents, then it'll find those. So we probably want to just change that. So that's under our Yoast section again. We want to change it to no follow. Just update it. So that will stop it actually finding it. It'll stop it following it. You are relying on their goodwill at that point. There are some more technical things you can do if you really are worried about this particular page, but that's one that, for another day. The other thing you can do is you can keep changing the name of the page so that if it does get indexed, you can edit the page name here, put in something more obscure, but it is still hiding it by obscurity. So the other way you can do it with things is you can create password protected pages. So this is an example of a password protected page. Somebody would have to put the password in, which you would give them, and then press submit, and they would get to see it. The first things that are not very nice about it is it always sticks the word protected in front of it. There's no other kind of text that appears to introduce it. So I would then look at using a couple other plugins if you want to make that a little bit nicer. There is custom password protected text. I'm not even going to have a go at pronouncing this chap's name. It's Marcelo, and I'm not going to give it. I'm going to give that one a miss. So that will allow you to put in extra text underneath each protected page. There is also a couple of another plugin which is really quite a nice one I've just discovered today, called WordPress Helpers, which does a load of different things to your WordPress site. To install that one, you do need to install this pick lists one. So they're both by the author's name is Picklist, If you install this one first, it will install that one for you, but you'll have to come back and just enable this one, otherwise you'll find it's not present. So what that does is, if we look underneath Tools, it's added another option called Helpers, which, as I said, has got a lot of different things that you can have a little look around. But the one I'm interested in is in Reading, where you've got an option to remove the word protected from the title. So I'm just going to save that away. As I said, there's tons in here that you can have a little bit of a play with. If I wanted to add a little bit of an introduction, it's added a under settings, there we are, custom password protected text. So this allows us to put some kind of introduction to password pages. So if we now go back to our password page, hopefully we should have got rid of that title. Yeah, we have. And we've got our little introduction appearing. This bit here is appearing courtesy of the theme, so you may have some other things that need your theme editing. And obviously we may want to get rid of it again like we've done before, but Google won't be able to index the content of that page without putting in the details. There is another little version of it that's quite a nice little plugin that you can add if you want to do hide bits of your text of your post or your page, and that's a product, a plugin called, let's just find it. It's called Exclusive Content Password Protect. A nice mouthful. Exclusive Content Password Protect by Clickonomics. And what that does is that allows you to put in a little bit of a short code, which will then add a little box like this. So you can actually have your content and then a box to fill in where they put a password and click unlock. And it's just really as simple as putting in some codes here. It shows you, so you can actually have a global. There is a global version, this bit here. So there's a global version where you can have one password across the whole site, or you can have a secret password just for that particular bit in the post. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an idea of some of the ways that you can hide pages and protect them either with or without a password. So that's kind of come to the end of this bite-sized webinar. I look forward to seeing you on another bite-sized webinar from wpmeansbusiness.com.